everybody. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Riku Malkki. Malkki?
That's correct.
And and he is an IT professional with plenty of expertise in human resources sector. He's from Finland and his profile is extraordinary because he has a technical background with a large experience in management positions along his career. He's a strong believer that we need to bring the human touch back to the recruitment, and he has a strong expertise related to human resources software oriented to improve the candidate experience. As the current Chief Growth Officer at TalentAdore, he works very hard in helping companies to recruit smarter through innovative solutions based on artificial intelligence. Welcome, Riku.
Thank you very much, Lorena. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. So, how are you? How are you these days?
Well, good. As can be seen, I'm home, as many other working ants as well. So we have been here in Finland in a remote work mode for a couple of weeks already. And we as a software company, this is not an extraordinary time for us in that sense that we do remote work already quite a lot, but now it's full-time remote. So we'll have to figure out what to do when you're actually home 40 hours per week working. It's a bit different than only one day per week.
Okay, perfect. So, you are working in TalentAdore in Finland. Tell us a bit about what is TalentAdore working at and about, well, the AI involved in this project. So tell us a bit about.
Sure, yeah. So we are a Finnish-based company here in Helsinki, and TalentAdore is basically an AI-driven applicant tracking system that, on top of standard features that are required in any platforms, we try to automate many of the recruiters' tasks while still keeping the human touch in the process. So our aim is to have the process so that no candidate is ever left alone without a proper treatment or communication.
Okay. So it's a tracking system.
Yes, it's a recruitment software.
Okay.
So basically you can publish jobs, you can receive applications there, and the recruiters and hiring managers go and look at the CVs. The AI part comes into the play whenever you have a job description, which of course has some kind of requirements. So our AI matches the candidate CVs towards those requirements and gives scores for the candidates. So it's really easy to sort candidates when you have a lot of rank the candidates based on their suitability for the position. So that's one part where
Okay.
the
So it's
AI comes.
automatized.
Yeah. And another place where we have incorporated AI, we have actually a patent for that. So basically our AI engine produces a unique feedback message for the candidates whenever they have applied, and then the hiring manager have assessed the candidates. What the AI does is actually a unique feedback letter for the candidates, telling that what was the strong part of the candidate's application and resume and history, and also the constructive part where maybe some of the skills were missing. So we're at the same time that we're giving constructive feedback, we're also teaching the candidates to tell more specifically about their skills, and maybe in future they apply to more relevant positions, and also then find their future dream job more easily.
That's great. So there's a way the system gives the candidate positive feedback on their
Yes.
background.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
basically, there are like three parts in the feedback that we generate with the AI. There's the basic requirements that are in the job description. Then there's the positive part. Of course, you want to start with the positives, and there must be some. So we give compliments on those. But then also, it's good to give to the candidates also the constructive feedback. If, for example, let's take an example of a candidate that has asked too much salary and that's way out of the scope in this recruitment. It's totally okay to say that your salary wish was maybe not in line in our perspective.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And so you're a software company mainly.
Yes, we are a software vendor.
Okay. So you are in this new context, you're used to work for from home, or that was not that strange for your team?
Hmm. Yeah, so
But
we are,
how is
yeah,
yes.
we are a team of around 20 people. We have many nationalities. We have, I think, 5 different nationalities within our teams. And remote work has been quite much present in daily work until this point already. But of course, this is now a new situation where everybody is away, and even when usually remote, you actually see the people and you gather up at least 1 time or 2 times per week at the office. But now it's not possible, so it gives some kind of um, I wouldn't say challenge, but you have to figure out new ways of working at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So everybody right now is working remotely, and you don't have that time at least once a week to share together,
Mm.
like all the
At
other
least,
things you wanted
yeah,
to share.
at least on the same table. But we have figured out some sometimes fun sessions that we are all there within, let's say, a Teams meeting or a Google Hangout where we all meet, and it can be work. Some teams have been having lunch together, and
Okay. So those are strategies you're using. For example, what have a Google a Hangout, having
for
lunch together.
example,
That's
yes, yes.
okay.
So basically, very easily, a person when working remotely, they can dive into the work and they just work, and they don't meet anybody. So I think that now that we're totally remote, it's very important to keep the human interaction still alive, and not only through audio but also with video. So all our meetings where we are actually video on meetings. So everybody has their webcam on. So it brings some kind of human touch to the meeting and to,
Yeah, that's. I think it's important because in two things that you said that it's important in my ears, that a lot of people thinks that if you're in IT, it won't change your work the way that you used to work because you're used to work from home. That's right, because in IT we work more. We have more commonly a practice of working from home, but usually we had 2 or 3 days in the office that make a huge difference. So yeah, that different change a lot. That human interaction that makes the people feel like they are part of something.
mm,
They are integrated in a team. That's a very, I think, one of the biggest challenges we are facing now. And one of the strategies you said that it's a good idea, it's a very good idea to have other kind of activities like a
yeah,
lunch or a fun meeting
yeah,
with the team with the tools that are commonly used, for example,
mm,
Hangout or yeah, or Skype call,
yeah.
and having other interactions besides related work related, right?
Yes, yes. And of course, now it's very intriguing to just sit on a computer and work for 8 or 9 or 10 hours per day, and then you just forget all the breaks. You forget the lunch break as well. If you eat something, you eat a sandwich or something at the computer. So this is something that we want to cherish. That you actually go away from your computer for a while, take a real break, move around the house or apartment or wherever you live, and this way you can actually feel that you can get rid of the work for just 5 minutes and then come back a bit fresher. And we actually have one of these online exercise platforms that we're using. So it reminds all the employees every 2 hours to have a break, and there's a short video that is shown to the employee, and they can make that exercise in their home, in their living room, for example. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
push-ups or anything like that, but just a regular, like moving your
Yeah, yeah,
shoulders
yeah.
and having some motion so that you don't like get stuck totally.
Okay.
So that is taken very positively among our teams, and we have actually a pretty nice challenge there where everybody does their exercises and we can see how many minutes have been exercised by
Oh, okay.
anybody. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good because when you're at home, it's very hard to you remember you forget to move to get up to get
exactly.
stand up. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and which tools are working better, do you think, for this working from home? You always use the same tool, or you change depending on the subject of the meeting?
Yeah, obviously all the usual suspects are there. So Google Hangouts is a good one. Everybody has access to that. We use Microsoft Teams, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and Zoom is used a lot. Then there's Appear In, and there's a lot of these online platforms that can be used straight from the browser, just like this conference call here. Here, I didn't have to download any apps. I could just type in the address and we're online. So regardless of the tool that is chosen, I would say that any tool works that are commercially accepted. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I understand that Microsoft Teams open for a month or 2 months the access for other smaller businesses that were not able to buy the tool to
Mm.
have access to the tool to be able to work remotely. And I think it's a very good thing for Microsoft to help small
Yeah,
businesses.
that is very true, and the big corporations such as Microsoft, they can afford that, and it's a really nice gesture to give free access for, and they hope to have a paying customer later on, but still it's a good gesture, and at least you can try different platforms and see what is actually working best for you.
Yes, yes, of course. On the other side, I wanted to ask you, Riku, what do you think? What kind of changes this new context will bring to the work market?
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, this is exactly what we're thinking about now. So we can see a couple of big shifts now. So we see that recruitments will slow down in certain industries, and there might be a recruitment freeze for certain jobs. So active candidates, how to cope with those? They might have applied for a position that is then put on hold. So this is something that needs to be considered. Also, we can see that as this uncertainty in the labor market increases, we can see that candidate volumes will rise. either immediately or within a couple of months. Obviously, all the job interviews will be handled online just like this. So I can see that video interviews, let it be pre-recorded or these kind of live sessions, they will increase in popularity, which is about the time. And yeah, of course, all the work is done from home. So being able to support the recruiters, hiring managers, and also the candidates when they work from home. So if, for example, a company has some kind of strict policy that you can use your, for example, your recruitment system only at the workplace or through some kind of virtual private network, that's going to be a problem now.
Yeah,
And
you meaning because of security, you mean?
yeah, for
Security issues.
some companies they have quite strict policies, and now they need to be reconsidered and tweaked to match this new way of working.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking too, as I've been working as a recruiter for a long time,
Mm,
I think that the companies will start trying new tools that they
mm-hmm,
before were not willing to try,
mm,
but due to this new context, try, for example, in the hiring processes, more stages could be made remote.
yeah,
And maybe before, at least in Latin America, the remote processes were left to the um, international hiring processes. And
mm,
right now, I think that businesses are more willing to try new tools that could make the process go forward. And also in the future, when candidates are back to work and have to their own jobs to and go to the offices, probably this a lot of these tools will remain, and maybe a lot of ways that we are doing now will change. For example, I think also that the process will be more remotely than before. I think that also working from home, that was a big issue for some companies, will be
mm,
more commonly and common. And I think that businesses are realizing that you can work, you can be productive also from home.
yeah,
So I think that that's a very good thing, because businesses are in a way forced to adopt new practices that in the long run will be better for people that we know in human resources, that were asking, begging for these changes for a long time. And I think that it's a good thing that businesses, they are solving their security issues and going through this and start trying with new things and realize that this can be done and
mm,
the business can still going on. And although they are their employees are working from home or different countries, that was another
mm,
taboo to hire, at least in Latin America, hire people that is living in other countries or lives far
mm,
away and can come to the office one or twice a week. I think that would be better, because that will open your market in a bigger size, because you can now hire people from other countries. So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
this is a very good thing that the businesses had to, but eventually that these practices, I think they will stay. They will stick. They will stay
yeah,
with us after this. So I think it's very good, because businesses and people usually, they usually stay in the comfort zone, and
mm-hmm,
we as people, we are not willing to change that if there's not necessary. And in this context, I think that we are businesses are trying new things, and I think that that's very good. That's
it
very,
is
very
it is very good, spot on. So you mentioned about the like the difficultness of remote work back in the days, and I can very well still remember the years not very many years ago actually, that some of the hiring managers or maybe the upper level management, they thought that they had maybe some trust issues towards employees working remotely, and there were a lot of these kind of checks, and you had to report very thoroughly that what did you do at what time, and this is just great that now this, unfortunately, this situation here makes us to try and trial this remote work seriously, because now we're all here for a couple of months here. So it's kind of like a pilot project for those companies that still had some kind of trust issues towards remote work earlier.
Yes, I think this is a kind of opportunity for the market to move forward. I myself in these past months, for a reason, there were a lot of meetups or conferences about the future of work that I think that was a big issue in the HR, at least, sector. We were a lot of I don't know, meetups about that. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think that this new context has bring us the future nearer. What do you
Yeah,
think?
and very fast.
And very fast. No, we
Yeah,
were talking about automation.
yeah,
No, but it will be, I think it will be sooner than we thought.
yeah. I think that well as well, and currently the webinars or these kind of online sessions where there are a lot of audience of, let's say, 20 or even 200 people listening to one or two people talk, just like we do here. They were introduced years ago, but they maybe have been trending for a couple of years now. I see that this is like booming right now. So
Yeah, definitely.
already now, because we can't have these big conferences, now the webinars, they are actually a really good way and a medium to talk and discuss and collaborate with larger audiences as well. So I think that webinars will increase in popularity through this period as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and it's much more cost effective because you don't have to transportation,
Mm.
move, no, lose
Mhm.
time in the middle. It's a good thing, but we should have to find an in the middle because, as you said before, we still need human interaction. So
Yes.
I think we will find an in the
Yeah.
middle solution to solve this. But definitely, this will be more used than before. I'm sure. I'm sure.
That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you identified any specific opportunity in this context about HR, about the labor market, about business?
Yeah. So we have identified a couple of different things that we could solve and can solve through technology when we think about this phenomena that is happening right now. So at TalentAdore, for example, we are now bringing the real-time video interviews as an integral part of TalentAdore's recruitment system. It's just a regular one step in the recruitment flow, and you can handle everything within the platform. We can also see that the AI matching will increase in popularity because we see that candidate volumes will go up. So there will be less jobs, but there will be more candidates in the market, and this inevitably means that there will be more candidates per each position, and there the AI matching is something that is very powerful. One specific thing is the fact that the candidates that have already been hired and signed might not be able to start right now. So maybe they were planned to start in April, but they actually have to postpone that first date. So what to do with those hired people that haven't yet been given the keys and they haven't been at the office or factory yet? So we're actually bringing this kind of pre-onboarding feature to our platform, that we can keep the fresh employee informed and also maybe give some homework to them while they are still waiting in their home and waiting for the first real work day. So that is definitely something. And one more about the jobs being cancelled or put on hold. So what to do with the candidates that have already applied or have been gathered into your databases? We think that it's super important to keep those talents fresh and nurtured and communicated with, so that whenever this critical period is over, they are still your talents and they remain in your pool. So timely communication towards candidates and also talents, and of course automate as much as possible. So make these kind of HR marketing campaigns that can be sequenced, and then you can just wait and see, and the candidates will get timely communication. And when the time comes, then job alert is a good one. So we have been building this kind of AI driven job alert for the candidates. So whenever the job postings come back and published, they will automatically get a notification that, hey, now the jobs that you're interested and you're relevant and suitable for are now published, and now it's time to apply again. So these kind of small things or big things, depending on companies and candidate volumes, but definitely technology must listen to the market, and we have been listening it, and now we're cooking at the moment.
Okay, perfect. So the opportunities that you have detected are real-time interviews,
Mm-hmm.
AI matching,
Yeah.
pre-onboarding, that kind of the candidate is in the middle time, and
Yes.
find a way of those processes that are on hold now, in a
Mm.
way of when they rise again, the candidate get notice about those positions that he's a match for.
Yes. Automatically. Yes.
Automatically, perfect.
Yeah.
Those are great news, Riku, that you are working in the future, that it will be soon, very, very soon.
Yeah. Glad
So
to
thank
hear.
you very much for your, yes, thank you very much for your time. I had a very, very good time with this interview. So let's thank you everybody to listen to us, and remember to add your comments in the comments below. And if you have any questions, you can send me a question and we will answer you soon. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.